What is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Ask Haydunn, the series where you guys ask questions and, you guessed it, I try to answer them. Alright, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna have an old battle video playing in the background. Meanwhile, I got your guys' questions in screenshots popping up on the screen. And yeah, so it's been a long time since I've done one of these, and you guys have been requesting this for a while, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. Alright, so the first question comes from Copacetti, and they ask, what are some games you like playing outside of Pokemon? Well, lately, I've actually been pretty addicted to playing Overwatch, and I actually do live streams of that over on my Twitch channel. I'll link that in the description if you would like to catch one of those sometime. I usually do some pretty late night streams, but yeah, I've pretty much just been playing Overwatch lately. Next question comes from Potato, and they ask, do you like potatoes for their personality or taste? And, personality, I guess? I've met some real nice taters in my day. Nick asks, would you rather only eat toothpaste for the rest of your life or only eat leaves with a little bit of mayo per leaf? And I thought about this one for a long time. It's kind of a tough question because I hate mayonnaise, but I feel like there's not a whole lot of nutritional value in either. Overall, I feel like I'm gonna die either way, but I'm gonna have to go with a little bit of mayo per leaf because you didn't specify how much mayo, and I would put like a tiny speck and technically fit the qualifications, and then I'd just be eating salads, and that would that would kind of suck. But I don't know how you guys come up with these questions. Speaking of questions, I don't know how the hell you guys come up with. Bubble Buddy asks, Dear Mr. Haydunn, if you add milk to cereal, is said milk now considered a beverage, broth, or a sauce? And honestly, bro, you're really mind fucking me here. And I think I'm gonna have to go with broth, but then does that make it a soup? My head hurts. Josh asks, what's your favorite of your nicknames, and what would you say is your most iconic mon to use in your videos? So I'd say probably my favorite nickname is Prostitute the Jinx. That's honestly just a classic, and I feel like I have too many good nicknames to pick a favorite. But yeah, so then I guess my most iconic mons would probably have to be Slowbro, my fucking Paul, or Dick Pinch the Pincer. Those two have just they've become pretty iconic, even though I don't really use them all that much. But that reminds me, I gotta bring those bad boys back. Aaronski asks, what's it like living in Hawaii? Hot and humid and expensive, but no, honestly, it's a really cool experience, and kind of just being able to appreciate the culture and just being a beach bum and stuff. And really just out here, working on my Alolan form. Squishy asks, what's your favorite grass type and why isn't it Swadloon? I'm gonna have to probably go with Venusaur just because me and that boy go way back, but honestly, I really do like grass types, so it's it's difficult for me to choose one. It'd either be probably maybe Venusaur or Shaman Sky. Graham asks, out of all the Poke Foods, Pokeblocks, Poffins, Poke Beans, which one would you eat if you had to eat one? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with probably Poffins, because for some reason I spent a lot of time making those back when I was playing Diamond and Pearl first. So I'd probably just have to do it just to kind of figure out how it would taste. But I could go for a fucking sweet and sour Poffin right now. Ben asks, Diggersby though? Yes. Devin asks, Zardix or Zardy? And I'm gonna probably have to go with Charizard X just because, I don't know, look at this man. Boy's about to fuck around and Dragon Dance, steal your girl, and sweep your team. Oscar asks, why did you choose the name Haydunn? And I've definitely answered this before, but it's essentially because when I was signing up for my YouTube account, obviously Haydunn was taken, the regular spelling of my name, and then I tried to put a U in there, and then Haydunn, like just with one N was taken, so I tossed another N on that bitch and called it a day. It's actually kind of funny because I actually own youtube.com/Haydunn, just the correct spelling of my name now, so I don't know, I've kind of just grown into my username at this point. Matthew asks, have you ever thought about doing voiceover work or anything of the sort? I think you'd do well. I have thought about it and I would really like to. I don't really know how to go about kind of getting started in that industry, but being like a voice actor would be kind of like a dream job of mine, honestly. That would be super cool. So Disney, if you're watching this, I'm available and I would make a great cartoon character. Gabby asks, have you ever considered live streaming? I remember you doing it a little while back. Yeah, I do live stream occasionally. I've been trying to get more into it. So like I said earlier, go ahead and click that link in the description. It'll take you to my Twitch. I will be probably doing some Pokemon live streams. I'll be doing some live battles, and I might even just stream some casual playthroughs of some games. I don't know. I do really have a good time every time I do end up live streaming. It's just kind of cool interacting with the chat, and it's always pretty damn fun. So I will be trying to do that more coming soon. Eric says 12? 21. Alright, Dylan wants to know if pineapple belongs on pizza, and I realize that I'm probably gonna lose a lot of subscribers for saying this, but honestly, I do like pineapple on pizza. Hawaiian pizza is pretty fucking delicious. I don't care what you think, pineapple belongs on pizza, and you are wrong if you think otherwise. Userbro asks, what pet do you like most, dogs, cats, or lizards? I'm gonna have to go with dogs just because I've kind of always just had dogs my entire life. But also, I used to have a veiled chameleon. I had to get rid of him when I moved, but I did have a chameleon. I'll put some pictures up of him. He was a pretty cool guy. He was actually kind of an asshole because he didn't really like being touched that much, but that kind of comes with the species. But he was really cool to kind of watch him eat and change colors and all that stuff. And chameleons are probably one of my favorite lizards. But yeah, also, so here's some pictures of my dog Macy. She is a 6-year-old boxer, and she is probably the best doggo in the whole damn world. Unfortunately, she lives at my parents' house currently, so I don't get to see her all that much, but when I do go home, we're BFFs. Reno asks, how many times did you switch into ballin' real quick? And honestly, bro, way too many to count. I was thinking about going and trying to figure that out, but that is entirely way too much work. So if somebody wants to be amazing, go ahead and tell me how many times I did actually switch into ballin' real quick. But those were good times, and I miss my buddy Ballin'. I wonder how the hell he's doing. Be in Your Guard asks, describe your sex life in a Pokemon move. And I'm gonna have to go with Never Ending Nightmare. I'm just kidding, that was sad. It's gotta be Play Rough. Effectspore asks, do you feel like the team preview took a lot away from the competitive aspect of the game? And honestly, that's an interesting question. So if you don't know, back in Gen 4, there actually was no such thing as the team preview. So you would hop into the battle not knowing what your opponent had. And while it did add a different competitive aspect to it, I don't think it took anything away from it. I personally think that with the team preview, it does make it a little more competitive because there's more strategy involved in, kind of keeping certain Pokemon alive for threats that you know that your opponent has. But it was a kind of a different metagame, really not knowing kind of what your opponent had. After you found out, you could see after you found, you saw like 3 or 4 of your opponent's team, you could kind of like judge in base, like, maybe a bulky water type's gonna come in at this point. And go for kind of more risky predictions. But yeah, I don't think it took anything away. I think it is better with team preview, but I remember the transition from when they added the team preview. It was kind of a little weird, and I thought it was bad at the time, but overall I think that it's for the best. Kif asks, how do you feel about blood play? And my god, do not make the same mistake I did and Google that, because you fucking wild. Roberto asks, if you were a gym leader, what typing would your first and second pick be? I would probably have to go, my first would be water. I just feel like there's a lot of cool things you can do with a water gym. You'd be swimming around all damn day, and that sounds just awesome. My second pick would probably be dark type, just because I also think there's a lot of cool shit you could do with having a dark type gym, and they're neglected, and I feel bad. Dark type is pretty damn awesome, and they deserve it. Be in Your Guard again asks, do you think some Pokemon evolve by trade because they get afraid they'll get given away, and so they change in something better in order to be loved forever? And bro, I think you're looking at it too deep. I think Game Freak just wanted to promote trades, but hey, maybe you're onto something. Maybe it's, damn, you could be right. Somebody come get their man Drake. Beautiful Tay asks, can I have a kiss or a Nuzlocke challenge? You can have a Nuzlocke challenge soon. Jacob asks, if you get stuck in an elevator, how many potatoes would it take to fry a cucumber? So I don't know what it is with potatoes today, but I'm gonna have to say 3. Paul asks, Haydunn, what countries have you been to? Any chance of me getting to meet you here in the Philippines? So I've only been to 2 countries, the United States and Canada. I've been to Canada twice for different snowboarding trips. I went to Whistler, and then I went to Banff. I would like to travel to the Philippines though, man. I'll hit you up when if I ever go there. Superdog asks, Pepsi or Coca-Cola? And I gotta go with Coca-Cola. I feel like that's the obvious answer, and if you answer Pepsi in that scenario, you're weird as hell. A person who likes Sinnoh asks, will you ever do another How Pros nickname Pokemon? I've put a lot of thought into it, and honestly, I don't think I ever will. I mean, I did 3 of them, and they were a shit ton of work. And honestly, I don't think it'll mesh as well with the new generations of Pokemon. It would just be a lot more difficult for me to do. Plus, I don't really know what song I would even go with. So I think I'm gonna have to end the series there. I've said it before that I'm probably not gonna do another one. But then again, who knows? Maybe I'll get a random spark of boredom and end up working on another one. But it's not looking likely. Hugs asks, what are the best resources to get into competitive battling? And for that, I've got to say, definitely just Pokemon Showdown and doing a lot of research. If you don't know what Showdown is, it's just basically a Wi-Fi simulator that really helps with a lot of experience. And honestly, if there's any advice I have for getting into competitive Pokemon, it's just practice. It's really just kind of building your knowledge and just getting used to the metagame pretty much. Hop Caterpie asks, did you enjoy playing through Sun and Moon, or do you feel the main series games are losing their appeal? And honestly, I genuinely think that I had a good time playing through Sun and Moon. I think it was a cool kind of change in pace. I really liked the new graphic details they made. A lot of the cool changes, like the Z moves, I think were a good change. And overall, I did really have a good time playing through Sun and Moon. And I think that it was a little hand-holdy to start off with, but overall, I did have a really good time with the games, and I think they did a pretty great job with it. So yeah, and that, guys, is going to conclude this episode of Ask Haydunn. I had a whole lot of fun answering you guys' questions. I got so many submissions, and I can't really fit all of them into a video, but I thank you for everybody who submitted a question. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed watching this. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you did enjoy, and subscribe for some more Pokemon stuff. Peace out.